quote say, reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. But unfortunately today, people neither do exercise nor they read. That is a problem. And one more problem here, usually human nature, we try to increase what is required, we try to decrease what is not what is required. We try to increase what is not required, and we try to decrease what is required. So when you read a lot, what happens? Your mind grows. It is required. When you don't do exercise, what happens? Your tummies become bigger and bigger. So that is required or not required? Not required. But whatever it is, here it's a very useful quote, especially from the exams point of view, competitive exams point of view. Reading is a must. That will help you in the long run. So with that quote, we'll see shall we see the analysis of the paper? So analysis of model test 31. How many of you think this is a tough paper? Raise your hands. Why is it a tough paper? Here in this paper, you don't see questions related to your favorite area. Which one is that? Spot the errors. So first 10 questions, passage, but in my opinion, this passage is, I don't want to say moderate. In my opinion, I wanted to keep it a little moderate, but it is easy. In my opinion, you should get all the 10 correct, 10 out of 10. I would like to see after the analysis how many of you have got 10 out of 10. Very much possible, this particular passage. Then 5 questions related to synthesis. Synthesis is usually a problem for students. Synthesis means what? They give 2 different sentences. You have to club those 2 sentences. They give about 3 phrases, and using those phrases, you have to see whether it is feasible or not to create a new sentence. Parajumble, of all the PJs we have seen in the recent past, this is the toughest for 2 reasons. One reason, how many sentences are there? 7 or 8? 8 sentences, not 7. Please check. How many are there? 7 or 8? 7. And what is it about? Climatologist. Not a familiar topic, so it is difficult that way. In my opinion, this close is easy. But close, how many questions are there? 10 questions. So overall, this paper you should get in the range of 14 and 18, not more than that. That's a very good score, between 14 and 18. Now, shall we see the passage first? As I said, today I'm going to present the passage differently. Please, either you can have a look or take a pick, write or take a pick. It is your choice. So, the broad view of this passage, what does it talk about? In the introduction, see the first 3 or 4 sentences, they are part of the introduction. The writer talks about importance of gross domestic savings, am I right? GDS. Then he talks about 3 things which are positive, and he talks about 1 thing that is negative. Absence of GDS, what is the impact? Then the next one, he talks about savings. Savings, it says it is inbuilt character, a quality of Indian system. Then he talks about types of savings. How many types of savings are there? 3 types. What are they? Household, corporate, and public sector. Then he talks about the problems related to these savings. What is the major problem? They are in the form of physical assets, especially gold and real estate. Then he says the need of the hour is to unlock these physical assets and divert them into financial assets. Then he talks about normally people try to save money in the bank, but in the recent past, because of the use of credit cards and debit cards, people expected the cash flow would be there and it would come to the bank. Contrary to the expectation, the increase hasn't been seen. So contrary, then he gives the reasons. What are the reasons for that? One reason, the banking services are not available to a lot of people, especially in the villages. The second reason, he talks about the hoarding of the cash. Hoarding means what? Illegally storing cash. These are the 2 factors. And the last paragraph talks about the last 2 decades. Historically, bank is a source to save. Traditionally, household saving is the number 1 leading, but the last two decades, it has lost its lead. And today, if you look at, there is an increase in the corporate and public sector, and he says this is a skewed development. Skewed means what? twisted development. So broadly, this is a framework. Have you got an idea? Now, what are the questions they have touched? Based on this framework, would you like to take a pick of this? Introduction, then about savings, then about problems, then about normal practice, what was expected, what did not happen, and finally the last paragraph talks about a decrease in the household savings, and that has resulted in skewed development. Shall I change? So 5 questions based on the comprehension of this passage. First question talks about the significance of GDS. 2 or 3 factors, he gives all of them, and he asks the question whether all are right or not right. Second one, types of savings. Which one is leading, which one is not leading related to that. Third question, positive aspect. It is the number 1 in the world, that is a positive aspect. Then negative aspect, decrease in the household saving. There's one question. And the fourth question is about it is in the form of physical assets, real estate and gold. So what is the need of the hour? We have to unlock these physical assets. Then one question on currency holding status right now. And it is not going in the right direction, it got skewed or twisted, and the implication of that he talks about and closes the passage. Now we'll see the actual questions. Shall we go to the passage? Raju, passage. Thank you. Now, shall we see the first question? What is the first question? Which of the following can be the most suitable title for the passage? This is an easy question. First one, a role of banks in India. Does it talk about banks or savings? Please respond. Savings. Comparative analysis of savings in the corporate and government sectors. Does it talk more about household or corporate and public sector? So this is also not right. First one is wrong. Second one is wrong. The characteristics of savings in India. So it is about that or something else. It seems this is the right one. We'll check 4 and 5 also. The scope of banking in India. Is it about banking or savings? Savings. How India is viewed economically around the world. It is not about the world view about Indian economy. So obviously, what is the answer here? Third option. Do you think it is an easy question or a tough question? Easy or very easy? Very easy. Now question number 2. Which of the following is true about gross domestic savings in the context of the passage, GDS? The first option says, one of the sources of funds for adoption of development and welfare measures by a country is its GDS. Right or wrong? The first sentence, when it starts with the statement, it is vital or essential, then it talks about 3 aspects. One is, it is essential for providing the investment towards development and welfare measures. That's the first one. So it is right. What is the second one? One of the measures of assessing a country's financial stability is its rate of GDS. This is also clearly mentioned in the passage. What is the third one? A high rate of GDS improves a country's investment prowess. Please underline the word prowess, means power. Please write the word power. Prowess means what? Power. Country's investment power. This is right or wrong? This is also right. The absence of a healthy rate of GDS may lead to a country being financially dependent on other countries. This is also right. He uses the word jeopardize based on this idea. So what is the answer based on that? So the fifth option, all the given options are true. This is an easy one or tough one? Easy. Which of the following is not true? Please underline not true. The data related to the investment in bank deposits by different sectors point to an uneven distribution of income across these sectors. Right or wrong? Somewhere he talks about uneven distribution. Just hold that one. At present, the household sector has the least share of bank deposits. Is it right or wrong? It doesn't have the least, it has the highest. Only the lead has come down. It doesn't mean that it has come to the least position. Please read the option carefully. What is the second option? At present, the household sector has the least share of bank deposits. Is it right? No, it is not right. The margin has come down. It doesn't mean that it has gone to the least position. So the second one is not true. People prefer investing in bank deposits as these seem to have significant benefits over other schemes of savings. True. The share of government and corporate sectors in bank deposits has increased in the last 2 decades. Is this right or wrong? This has increased, the household has decreased. So what is the answer here? How many of you have chosen the second option? That is the right answer. What is the answer? Second option is the answer. What is the question here? I don't know why that question mark. What is the question here? Which of the following is not true in the context of the passage? At present, the household sector has the least share of bank deposits. Is it true or not true? It is not true. I don't know why that question mark. How many of you have got this one right? Please raise your hands. Only a few students, but this is an easy one. Perhaps you got confused this and the marginal decrease in the last 2 decades, one, and only the last paragraph talks about the marginal decrease. And also from 1950 to 2010 also marginal decrease. Okay. Shall I move on to the next question? What is the question number? Which of the following is true according to the passage? The savings rate of India is one of the highest worldwide. Absolutely right. As I said, one question about what is positive and what is negative. This is the question. All the 3 sectors of India, that is corporate, government and household, have shown an increase in savings rate from 1950 to 2010. Is this right or wrong? This is wrong. What is wrong in this statement? Household has decreased, not increased. Whereas the public sector and the corporate sector have shown increase. Now the third option, the engagement of a major chunk of household savings in physical assets, please underline physical assets, is proving to be detrimental. Please underline the word detrimental. Detrimental, you have got this word already. What is the meaning of that? Harmful to capital formation in the country. Is this right or wrong? Absolutely right. So how many are right here? 2. What are those 2? A and C. So which option says that? Fourth option. Easy question. As I said, one talks about the positive aspect, the other talks about the negative aspect. According to the passage, which of the following is desirable? Greater holding of assets like gold. The writer says physical assets are not good for the country. What are the physical assets? One is gold, the other one is real estate. Increased currency holding by the public. Is it right or wrong? Increased currency holding, if they hold the currency, then it is not good. The country cannot go in the right direction. Increased investment in financial assets. Right. I think there's a problem with the key here. So what is the answer based on this? Only C. Which option says that? The fifth option is the answer. See, now on I don't want to say there is a problem with the key. Take it for granted. If I say that is the answer, that is the answer. I hope it's clear. I have my own reasons to say that. I cannot say quite often the key is not right. Please understand, reading between the lines. You got the phrase, reading between the lines. Now what is the question number? Choose a word which is opposite in meaning to the word given in bold as used in the passage. This is a very easy one. What is the word given? Unlocking. First you underline the word unlocking and we'll see the context. Unlocking physical assets is the need of the hour. Means what do you understand? Releasing or freeing. Am I right? Now we'll see the options. Investing in, is it the answer? No, strike it off. Complicating, not relevant here. Fastening up, fasten your seat belts. What does it go with? Flight, so it doesn't go with this context. Fixing. Fixing has two different meanings. Please write. Fixing, one meaning, to join something, the typical meaning. Fixing means what? Join. But the second meaning of fixing, repair. What is the second meaning? Imagine there's a problem with the screen. I will tell the technical person, please fix it. So it doesn't mean join. What is the meaning of that? Please repair that. Freeing. I think there's a problem with the spelling. I have corrected that. See the hard copy? One letter is missing. Which letter is that? G is missing. So based on this, what is the answer? The fifth option is the answer. Easy or very easy? Very easy. What is it? Oh, opposite meaning. That's what? Opposite, unlocking. Oh, I'm sorry. Unlocking means what? Freeing. Now opposite, what is opposite? What is it? Fixing. Fourth option. Fastening up doesn't go with this context, so here it is fixing. I thought similar meaning. So what is the answer here? Fixing. Fourth option is the answer. Thank you for... No, today also I'm a little tensed up because I'm worried about the time factor. But I'll try to do it a little slow compared to the pace what I did yesterday. I'll try to do it a little slow. But yesterday also I was late. I was late behind the schedule by 2 minutes. So what is the question number? Question number 7. According to the passage, which of the following can be said about currency holdings? 1. Accumulation of illegal wealth and avoiding payment of tax are also responsible for increased currency holdings. Right or not? No, it has been mentioned. Who says it is not mentioned? Please take the hard copy, go to the first paragraph, and try to read the last sentence if I'm not wrong. See here, the first paragraph, the last sentence I'll read out. The major reasons for high currency holdings may be on account of increased economic activity with limited access to banking. Then he substantiates 5.66 lakh unbanked villages coupled with, what is the word here? Hoarding of unaccounted money in the form of cash to circumvent. I'm going to give the meaning of that word. So this one, please underline that part. Hoarding means what? Illegal storing. As a verb, please write the meaning. No, I'll go there, I will write. Please wait. What is the question number? According to the passage, which of the following can be said about currency holdings? Accumulation of illegal wealth and avoiding payment of tax are also responsible for increased currency holdings. Absolutely right. I have read out the sentence. Are you convinced or not? Is this right or wrong? Absolutely, no second thoughts about that. The advent of debit cards and credit cards has led to a significant decrease in currency holdings. Is it right or wrong? They thought that it would decrease, but it did not decrease. In the passage, he talks about expectation and did not happen. That means what? This is right or wrong? This is wrong. The increase in currency holdings can also be partially attributed to the fact that many people still do not have access to banking services. In the first paragraph, the last sentence talks about two dimensions for this particular problem. One is lack of access to the banking services. Second is hoarding of the cash, whatever it is. So based on that, what is the answer? A and C both are right. Which option says that? The third option is the answer. B is not right. That went against the expectations. They thought it would happen, it did not happen. Now question number 8. Opposite in meaning, and what is the word? Consistently. We'll see the context. Savings habit is an inbuilt culture of the Indian system, and it has been growing consistently from 10% in 1950 to 33.70% in 2010. He wants opposite. Consistent means what? Please write the meaning. In this context, you could say continuous. Then passively, what is the opposite of passive? Active. So it is not correct. And what is the next option? Intermittently. Please put a star mark. It is an important word. And write the meaning. The meaning of the word intermittent. But I would like to give a better word. So what is the typical meaning? Intermittent means at irregular intervals. But better word, sporadic. Sporadic also means the same, but that's a better word. So hold that option. Have you written? Reflexively. Please write the meaning of the word reflexive. Which part of speech is reflexively? Adverb. Reflexive. Reflexive behavior. Adjective. Means without thinking. You could also write the word spontaneously. Without thinking or spontaneously. We all imagine something falls on my shoulder. What will I try to do? Next second, I'm busy teaching, but something fell on my shoulder. What will I do? I will do like this. That is called reflexive behavior. I don't even bother to see what it is, whether it is a lizard or a spider or something from the roof. I'm not bothered. But the moment something falls, I'll try to do like that. That is called reflexive behavior. Does it go with this context? No. So strike off that one. Gradually? No. Routinely? Not relevant. So continuously, at irregular intervals, or sporadic, which is the right answer. The second option is the answer, intermittently. Continuous, at regular, taking a break, sporadic. What is the meaning I have written for this word? At irregular intervals. Regular, irregular. Now shall I move on to the next question? What is the question number? Choose a word which is most nearly the same in meaning to the word given in bold as used in the passage. What is the word here? Jeopardize. It's an important word. Please put a star mark. But before we go to the options, first you write the meaning of that. What is the meaning of that word? To put in danger, or to make something risky. To put in danger, this thing. To put in danger or make something risky. Now what is the context? Absence of required savings rate may lead to external dependence, which may jeopardize the interests of the nation. Once you depend on someone, then you cannot think independently, you cannot do whatever you want to do. So there will be a clash between the country's interests and the one who supports his interests. That is the meaning. Now what is the first option? Gamble. Gamble has two different meanings. What is the typical meaning? You play a particular game based on betting, or you try to invest some money and you try to play. That is a regular meaning. But write the second meaning of the word gamble. Please write gamble means take risk. Generally we say, don't gamble on that project. Means what? Don't take risk on that project. That is the second meaning. Now jeopardize, you want similar or opposite? Similar. Gamble, does it go with jeopardize? Just hold that one. Endanger. There is an important word. What is the meaning of the word endanger? You have got this many a time. Threaten. Endanger means what? Threaten. Endangered species means what? Threatened species. And they are completely wiped out. Then what is the word? Extinct. Here please write. Usually they go hand in hand. Endangered, extinction. So jeopardize means what? To put someone in danger, to threaten, or to make something risky? Does it go with endanger? So how many of you have chosen the second option? That is the answer. But we will see. Reveal. Reveal means what? I think you got this word yesterday. One is disclose. Please write the word disclose. If you write, you don't lose anything. Do remember that. Disclose. And a better word, I think I gave yesterday. Which word is that? Divulge. Disclose or divulge. Tempt. What is the meaning of the word tempt? Temptations. From this word you get temptations. Write the noun form. Tempting means what? Tempt means what? Attract. So tempting means what? Attracting. Now what is the last question? Choose the word which is most nearly the same in meaning to the word given in bold as used in the passage. What is the word? Dire. Please write the meaning of that word. We'll see the context. Unlocking physical assets is a need of the hour as substantial scarce financial resources, please underline this word, are blocked in unproductive assets such as gold and real estate at a time when the country is in dire need of. So what do you understand? Great need of, to a great extent, the need of something. Please write great or to a great extent. Great or to a great extent. So what are the options? First one, ominous. You have got this already. What is the meaning of this? A feeling that something is going to happen, that is one thing. And write one more meaning, better meaning I would like to give. Please write. Can you make out? What is the word? Threateningly inauspicious. Inauspicious. Auspicious means what? Something that is good or positive. What is opposite? Inauspicious. Threateningly inauspicious. So dire, ominous, are they related? No. Calamitous, calamity. Calamity means what? Disaster, something that is very bad or not good for someone or something. Poor, does it go with this context? Ridiculous. Ridiculous means what? Please write the meaning of ridiculous. Something that is absurd. Something that is absurd. Or you could also write something that makes you laugh. Please write something that makes you laugh. A ridiculous statement or ridiculous behavior. Funny behavior. Something that makes you laugh. Does it go with this context? No. So what is the last one? So dire means great, to a great extent. What is the word? They have given the exact word. So based on that, what is the answer? The fifth option, great, is the answer. Now I would like to ask, it has taken almost 30 minutes only for the passage. I would like to ask the question, how many of you have got all the 10 correct? Please raise your hands. 9 correct. Please give her a big hand. That is also highly appreciable. Now shall I move on to the next set of questions? See, this is a new model. I don't know how much time it is going to take. So try to listen very carefully. What is this model called? First you write this word. Please write the word synthesis. Synthesis means what? Combining or creating something new using something else. Synthesis. Synthesize. From this you get synthetic. Natural. What is opposite? Synthetic. Artificial. Created. So what you're supposed to do here, this is a tough one. Initially this was started by RBI. Later other banks started following this model. Of all the models, in my opinion, this is the toughest. For one reason, the main reason, here you need to understand the context. Second, you should be very good at English grammar. Especially, you should be good at the phrases and the clauses. And once you feel comfortable, you start with a phrase, given phrase or clause, you should feel comfortable. Only then you can decide whether it is right or wrong. And that takes a lot of time, not that easy. Now we'll see question number 11. What is it? The country experienced strong economic growth in 1999. Here, my suggestion, when you read the two sentences, first you ask the question, is it a positive statement or a negative statement? First question. Second, no, I'm going to. Second, does it add information, or does it talk about contrasting information, or does it give the reason, or does it conclude? These are the things you have to think of and ask yourself. Once you get the answer, then it becomes easy for you. Now the second sentence, this was enough for it to be classified in the BRIC group of fast-growing countries. Please underline the word BRIC. You all must be knowing BRIC. What do the letters stand for? Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Okay. I think they've added one more, that is South Africa. So here, both the sentences are positive. There is no negative element. Despite, can you use, because there is no negative element, can you start with despite? Straight away you can reject the first one. Now what is the second one? On account of its strong economic growth, the country was included in whatever it is. Does it sound right or wrong? Yes, take the second one. Its classification in BRIC group of fast-growing countries is due to the economic growth in 1999. This also seems right. So tick C. What does it mean? You can start with B as well as C. So which option says that? Second option, only B and C. Even these 5 questions, there is a problem, we'll see later. But already I've said, I don't want to talk about that. The country's lawmakers amended the constitution, doing away with term limits. What is the context for this? Can you guess? Which country president are they talking about? The US president. According to the US political system or US polity, the president of the country, how long is the term? 4 years. And they can contest only twice. 4 plus 4, 8. No third term. That is the context, and it is about the US president. So what is the first sentence? The country's lawmakers amended the constitution, doing away with term limits. No term limit. This will allow the country's president to run for a third term in 2016. So first a statement, then based on that, the result, additional information. Anything negative here? No. Now we'll see the options. What is the first option? An amendment in the constitution enables the president to contest for a third term. Right or wrong? Please take the first one. To run for a third time, then how do you continue? You cannot continue. So what does it mean? So you should have that feeling to run for a third term, then there's nothing to continue. That means what B is not right. Doing away with term limits enable the president to contest for the third term. This seems right. So what does it mean? A is right, C is right. Which option says that? Fourth option. Only A and C. As I said, these are not that easy. You got to, comprehension is important, more than grammar knowledge. Please remember, in the exam, traditional approach of bank, those who conduct the exam, based on grammar knowledge, based on lower level of comprehension. Which level? Lower level of comprehension. Now the things have completely changed, complete change in the approach. The present, the last 2-3 years, if you see the approach, It is higher level of comprehension and to a great extent advanced grammar. The traditional approach now you don't expect, and they are not following the traditional approach. So all these new models, today a lot of people ask me, a lot of students ask me, sir, please spend some time on new models, new models. What are these new models? It is something like old wine in a new bottle. Have you heard of that? Old wine in a new bottle. So here it is related to grammar, but advanced grammar. It is related to comprehension, but higher level of comprehension. So if you are really good at the basics, you can go to the next level. If you are not good at the basics, can you go to the next level? Very simple. So to handle these questions, first you have to be good at reading comprehension skill. Then comes analytical reading comprehension skill or analytical reading skill. Without reading habit, it is not possible. Now let us see question number 13. What is it? Socotra, that is an island I suppose, is a small island in the Indian Ocean. Never heard of that. The island's 55,000 people retain ancestral traditions, please underline ancestral traditions, and speak their own unwritten languages. Ancestral means what? Related to forefathers. So what is the spelling of this? Forefathers. F-O. Once I was talking to a guy, so I asked the question, what were your forefathers? That guy said, he looked at me very seriously. I didn't understand. He said, sir, I have only one father. Then I said, no, that I was not talking about that. And so usually you forefathers, both are different. Now let us see the question. So forefathers means what? Ancestors. So he talks about a small island in the first sentence. In the second sentence, he talks about the people and their attributes or whatever, the qualities, characteristic features. A small island in the Indian Ocean, Socotra, has people who retain their ancestral tradition and speak their own unwritten language. This is possible. Please take the first one. A small island in the Indian Ocean, punctuation is very important. Then Socotra, then has people who retain their ancestral traditions and speak their own unwritten languages. So A is possible. Now second one, is it possible? If you start with this, can you talk about the small island in the Indian Ocean? That is not possible. So what does it mean? B is ruled out. Both to retain its traditions and speak their own unwritten language. Can you complete? No. That means what? C is also not right. So what is the answer here? Which option says that? First option is the answer. This is a little tricky, but we will see. Portable, please underline the word portable. You all know the meaning of the word portable. Means what? Mobile. Now in so many exams they have given a question related to a similar word. Portable and portable, they come under confusing words. Please write the word portable. What is the meaning of the word portable? Portable means what? Water that can be had or water that can be consumed. And if food, you can have the food, then what is the word? Edible. Food we use edible, water we use portable. Please put a star mark this word, portable. Now I'll read the sentences. Portable devices to measure blood pressure have been available for some time. This is a statement. What is the second one? Today entrepreneurs have created a software application where tiny wearable blood pressure devices are linked to smartphones and can send data to physicians. Add-on information. While portable devices, does it sound right? Now we'll see. While portable devices to measure blood pressure have been available for some time, today, this is a contrasting word, contrasting. While here is a expresses contrast. Please make a note. The word while, generally it goes with a continuous tense. She was reading while I was teaching. Which tense is this? Past continuous. But here while is used as a conjunction. please write in your notebook, please write the word while and write brackets, you write conjunction. Then you write the function as a conjunction, please write the word contrast. Contrast. Then write one example. Rice, R-I-C-E. Rice requires a lot of water. Rice requires a lot of water, while cotton requires black soil. Rice requires a lot of water. Paddy cultivation requires a lot of water. Rice requires a lot of water, while cotton requires black soil. You all must be knowing that. For rice, what do you need? What is the most important thing? Water. And for cotton, what is the most important thing? Black soil. So here underline the word while. So does it talk about contrast or not? Yes. Based on that, you can definitely consider the first option. While portable devices are available, today entrepreneurs have created something new. They have been there, but something new has been created. So what does it mean? A is right. Please tick A. This is acceptable. Creating a software application, can you start with that? No. Next one is also possible. Since portable devices are available in the market, today some entrepreneurs they have gone to the next level. So what does it mean? C is also right. Both A and C are right. Which option says that? The fourth option is the answer. You all must have ignored the first one. What is the reason? You must have thought while goes with a continuous tense. It does not express a contrast, but do remember it expresses a contrast. So that's a tough question. Now the last one. What does it say? Companies have started investing in wellness programs for their employees. A lot of companies do that, big companies. Employees are happier and the attrition rate is lower. Please underline the word attrition. It has got two different meanings. Please write the first meaning of that word. Today, if you go to the private sector, you come across this particular word. Attrition means don't take literally the turnover. What it means here, employees leaving the company. Please write in brackets, employees leaving the company frequently. The turnover of the employees, but brackets you please write, because turnover goes with money matters. So brackets you write, employees leaving the company frequently. Employees leaving the company frequently. In some companies, employees leave regularly. Then we say the attrition rate is very high. Have you got the meaning? Now write the second meaning of this word. Attrition means to make something weak. There's a better word. Please write separately the word debilitate. Debilitate also means to make something weak or to make someone weak. That's a better word. Shall I go back to the question? So companies have started investing in wellness programs for their employees. Employees are happier and the attrition rate is lower, obviously. If the employees are happy, they don't leave the company. If employees are happier, does it make sense? Please mark it wrong. According to the companies, employees are happier because they invested or they started welfare programs, whatever. B is absolutely right. As a result, companies have, does it sound right? No. So what is the answer here? Only B is right. Do you have that option? Then what is the answer? How many of you have chosen the fifth option here? Please raise your hands. I appreciate those students. That is the answer. Very good. Shall I move on to the next set of questions? Next set of questions, the toughest para jumble. But because we don't have a lot of time, what I'm going to do, First, I'll ask you questions. Here, three sentences go with a particular profession or a particular people who belong to a particular field. Who are those people? So, which sentence starts with that? Which one is that? We'll do it a little fast because we don't have a lot of time. Climatologist bears a doom-laden, please underline, doom-laden, write the meaning. Doom-laden means conveying a feeling of tragedy. Please write, conveying a feeling of tragedy. Something very bad is going to happen, doomed to death, something very bad. Climatologists base their doom-laden predictions of the Earth's climate on computer simulations. Please underline the word simulations. What is the meaning? Imitation of a situation, imitation of a situation. Simulate, imitation of a situation or a condition. You all must be knowing the word simulation. So climatologists base their doom-laden. Doom-laden means what? Here he is trying to convey a negative idea. Predictions of the Earth's climate on computer simulations. Now what is the second? Please mark this one. Next one also should be about climatologists. So what is the second sentence? As I said, quite often writers, they make a statement, they try to introduce a contradictory, contrasting information they try to present. So what is the second sentence here? D is the second sentence. But these simulations, so what is the link word for you? The repeated word simulation, simulations. Please put a star mark. But these simulations have long been the subject of ridicule because of their stunning failure. Here stunning means shocking. Please write the meaning of the word stunning. Stunning means shocking. Stunning failure to predict the pause in global warming since the turn of the last century. What is the third sentence? Now he wants to substantiate. First he has started with a statement, then he gave the contrasting information. Now the writer wants to substantiate. So the third sentence is, substantiate means what? To justify, to give an example. So what is the third sentence? It is the same with sea ice. So here the clue word for you, sea ice. Please underline sea ice. And what is the fourth sentence? No. E is the fourth sentence. We have heard a lot about the decline in Arctic sea ice. I said the pairing word, what is it? Sea ice. Even here you see sea ice. In line with or even ahead of predictions. So these four sentences, one group. What is the correct order here so far? F, D, C, E. Please make a note. Then the next sentence is B. Please go to B. But why are environmentalists and scientists not so keen to discuss a long-term increase of the same in the southern hemisphere? There is an increase in the southern hemisphere. The writer questions, why are they not willing to discuss? So increase, then he has to substantiate. Which sentence talks about increase? Are you guys listening? So what is the next sentence? Obviously A is the next sentence. So what is the number here? In fact, across the globe there are about 1 million square kilometers more sea ice than 35 years ago, which is when satellite measurements began and which is what they choose to keep mum about. Please underline the expression, to keep mum about, means what? To keep quiet, to keep quiet. And what is the sentence you are left with? And that is the last sentence, G, I suppose. Am I right? It is only fair to say that such miscalculations have been something of an embarrassment for climate modelers. That is a concluding sentence. I would like to know how many of you have got the correct order. Any student here? It is practically impossible. If someone has said, sir, I would have been surprised, rather shocked, rather stunned. So why is it so difficult? First reason, the sentence is so difficult to arrange. He talks about the climatologist, 4 sentences, then he talks about the contrasting information increase, he substantiates, then finally concludes. This has been taken from a UK magazine, a magazine from the UK, and I will show the actual passage or paragraph. Please have a look quickly. I am showing this so that it will be easy for you to next time understand how the writers present the information. So what is the framework? He starts with the introduction. What is the key word here? Climatologist. Please underline the word climatologist. And also underline the word simulations. Then he wants to present a contrasting idea. What is it? But these have long been. Then he gives an example. How many sentences related to examples? 2 sentences. And those sentences you have the key word. What is it? Sea ice and sea ice. Then he talks about something opposite using the word but. Then again he wants to substantiate. He wants to say how it has been increased. So what is the next one? 1 million square kilometers more ice than 35 years ago. That is again substantiating. And what is the last sentence? It is fair to say that this has been something of an embarrassment for climate modelers. So what is the correct order? FDCE, BAG. But the point here, I can tell confidently, you don't have to feel bad. If I give the same paragraph to those who have done MSc Geophysics, MSc Oceanography, MSc Environmental Sciences, all these related disciplines, I don't think they will get the correct order. I can tell with a lot of confidence, not that easy. That too, within a stipulated time period of how many minutes? 3 or 4 minutes. It's impossible. Impossible means impossible. So don't feel bad, very simple. Shall I move on to the last set of questions? So what are these questions about? Can cheetahs beat tigers? So what is your answer? In a quiz, someone asks you, what will you say? Yes or no? The rise of the Asian manufacturers in 1990s hit African firms hard. Northern Nigeria, which once had a expanding garments industry, fostering means what? Already I've got this word. Foster means to encourage, that is one meaning. To bring up someone's child, another meaning. Struggling. He is talking about something positive in the past. So you cannot use the word struggling. Thriving. So underline the word thriving. You have got this word as well. What is the meaning of the word thriving? Please write. Thrive means what? Flourish. Thrive means what? Flourish. Grow well. Grow well. Foster, already have got it. What is it? Encourage. What is the second meaning of that? To bring up. To bring up. So here, northern Nigeria, which once had a thriving garments industry. What is the fifth option? Tainted. It has got 2 different meanings. Please write the meaning of tainted. One is pollute. One is what? Pollute. Second one, a person with, or to damage a person's reputation, to spoil a person's reputation. A person with damaged reputation. Then we have to say tainted person. Tainted person means what? A person with damaged reputation. He has got some bad name, some controversy. Then what do we say? His image has been tarnished or tainted. Both mean the same. So what is the answer here? The fourth option is the answer. So thriving garments industry was unable to compete low cost imports. In spite, then what is the preposition you are supposed to use instead of in spite? Sudhir gariki 5 minutes అని చెప్పండి. ఎందుకని జారిపోతుంది? లాస్ట్ వీక్ చాలా బాగుంది. రాని హియర్ వస్తాను. What is the blank here? Northern Nigeria, which once had a thriving garments industry, was unable to compete. What is the word? Compete with. So what is the answer here? Fourth option is the answer. Is the voice loud and clear? No, Ledam. So we'll move on. What is the next one? You have got answers for 2 blanks. What are those? 21 and 22. South Africa had problems. Its manufacturing failed to grow. The continental boom. So what are the options for 23? South Africa had
Hello.
similar problems. What is the answer here?
Hello.
Now can you say, is that loud and clear? I'm worried about the time factor. Shall I go on? So what is it? South Africa had similar problems. What is the answer here? The fifth option, not partially, neighboring, unattainable, tackled. Please underline the word unattainable. Attainable means what? Achievable. Simple word. Please write achievable. Tackle. What is the meaning of the word tackle? To deal with. Please write to deal with. Tackling. Dealing with. So answer here the fifth option. Its manufacturing failed to grow because still, despite, from competing. What is the word? Its manufacturing failed to grow despite the continental boom. Why? What is your problem? After despite, you cannot use the word of. So, you have an objection with this option? No problem. But she wanted to. Shall I move on? So, attainable means what? Achievable. Tackle, to deal with. Now, what is option number? Question number 25. This is partly the success. You have to choose a positive word or a negative word. Negative. Challenges, difficulty, collapse, fault. So what is the answer here? This is partly the fault of governments who have neglected industries. Industries what? What is the answer? The third option. You may get tempted to go for the fifth one. No, that is not right. Industries needs especially for what? Roads and electricity. Those two come under infrastructure. If you choose the word infrastructure, then it becomes redundancy. Do you understand? What is the meaning of the word infrastructure? What comes under infrastructure? Roads, buildings, power, water supply, all this together we use the word infrastructure. Then write the meaning of the word discretion. That's an important word. See, judgment with or without E, it is right. Freedom of choice or judgment. Discretion. So you want to do something, you ask my opinion, I may say, it depends on your discretion. Use your discretion and decide whether to do it or not to do it. Use your discretion. Depends on your discretion. Any other word you have to learn? Other words are easy words. Now 27. But that is emerging, changing, beneficial, constraint. Already I've got this word. Constraint means what? Limitation or block or hurdle, something that stops you. But that is, World Bank economists feel that Africa has a right. Here it is positive or negative? Positive. So which word says positive? The second option. So what is the answer here? But that is changing. World Bank economists feel that Africa has a right. Right what? This is a phrase, right? Second option, mix of ingredients. How many of you have got this one right? Please raise your hands. That's very good. I appreciate those students. Mix of ingredients. What is the meaning of the word ingredient? A part or component of something. So when you want to make a particular dish, you ask the question, what are the ingredients? Any word you have to learn. Emerging. Emerging means what? Upcoming, coming into existence. Constraint, a limitation or a block or impediment. These include favorable demography, urbanization, and strong services. So what is the answer here? How many of you have chosen the first option? Right? And what is the last one? In fact, for the decade or so. Easy one. What is the answer? Either last or past. Which word has been given? For the past decade. Decade means how many years? 10 years. So precede, there is one word. Please write precede meaning. Something that comes before. Precede means what? Something that comes before. Oncoming. One more is there. Let me see. In fact, for the past decade or so, services will generate. Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is. Please answer. First one is not right. My mistake. Please choose the fourth one. What is the reason? Underline the word will generate. It talks about the future. Once I think of time, I become restless and I get agitated. Now it's already 3:05. And we have got to spend on the enrichment part. So oncoming means what? Approaching. Please write the meaning of the word oncoming. Means approaching. So how do you find this paper? How many of you have got 18 plus? Please raise your hands. 18 plus. Please give them a big hand. A few students over here. That is really appreciable. And others, nothing to worry. And one more thing I would like to tell based on the interaction I had with one of the students this afternoon. Sometimes what happens, you are really clever, you're brilliant, you deserve success. But one thing is very important. During the exam, how you look at the questions, how you choose the questions. Which one is first, which one is second, that is also very important. Imagine in a passage like this, in my opinion, you should start with either the passage or the close, one of the two. You should not touch synthesis, you should not touch para-jumble. How many of you have read the passage? Please raise your hands. Allotting about 7 or 8 minutes. So majority, this is a blunder. In my opinion, this passage you can easily get 7 to 8 marks. If you don't touch the passage, indirectly you're spoiling your prospects. And once it is gone, it's gone forever. So once you have a look, decide which one first, which one second, then you try to attempt the questions. That will help you in the exam. Is that clear? Now shall we see the words, what you have learned today? So we'll do it a little fast. I don't know how much time I can get. Vital. Vital means what? Essential. Essential or indispensable. Requisite. Required or prerequisite. Please write in your notebook. Don't simply listen or stare. I'll do it a little fast. Requisite means what? Required or prerequisite. Soundness. Correctness. One meaning. And second meaning, robust or strong. Robust. R-O-B-U-S-T, robust or strong. Jeopardize, put in risk, put in danger. Assets, a valuable property, a valuable thing, or a person. Asset, singular. Substantial. Please write the meaning of the word substantial. Significant, something that is of significant value. Significant. ఫస్ట్ మైక్ సెట్ చేయమ్మా, దానికంటే ముందు మైక్ సెట్ చేయి. మైక్ ఆన్లో ఉంది ఇప్పుడు, అది తర్వాత సెట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఏమి ఎన్నిసార్లు బ్రేక్ ఈరోజు? So what is the last word? Substantial. Substantial means what? Something of considerable worth or whatever it is, or significant. Scarce means what? Shortage of something. Please write the meaning. Shortage of something. What is the next word? Dire. Dire means what? Great. Dreadful. Something that is harmful or threatening or frightening. A dreadful disease. Hoard. As a verb, what is the meaning? To store something illegally. Please write that. It's an important word. Hoarding means what? Store something illegally. Circumvent. C-I-R. This is an important word. Please write the meaning. It means evade. E-V-A-D-E. Evade. Or dodge, and also write the word outwit. Outwit. Evade, you know the word, evading, dodging, avoid. So skewed. Skewed means twisted. Twisted. Unexpected direction, something goes, then we call the direction skewed direction. Supposed to go in one direction, it changes the direction, then we use this. Intermittent, at irregular intervals, or what is the other better word? Sporadic, reflexively, spontaneously, or without thinking. Endanger, threaten, gamble, not the regular meaning, the other meaning, to take the risk, tempting, attracting, ominous, threateningly inauspicious, or a feeling that something bad is going to happen. Calamitous, related to calamity, something that causes a disaster. Ridiculous, funny or absurd, or something that makes you laugh. Ancestral, forefathers. Attrition, two meanings. One, the employee is leaving the company quite often. The other, attrition means what? To make someone or something weak. Simulation, imitation of a particular situation or something. Debilitation, to make someone or something weak. Stunning, shocking. Doom-laden, conveying the idea of tragedy. Conveying the idea of tragedy. Embarrassment, a feeling of awkwardness or shame, or becoming self-conscious. Ingredient, part or component of something. Thrive, flourish, taint, to pollute or to spoil the image of someone. Foster, encourage or to bring up. Diverse, different, unattainable, unachievable. Tackle, to deal with. Discretion, freedom of choice or judgment. Precede, to come before. Oncoming, approaching. So the para jumble is about the climate. I have brought a few idioms that go with the climate and the atmosphere, environment. The first one, please write, a drop in the ocean. A drop in the ocean. A drop in the ocean means what? Something that is not significant, a very small thing, something that is not very important. A drop in the ocean. A ray of sunshine, something that is positive, something that comes as a positive development. A ray of sunshine. What is the meaning? Something that is positive. the tip of the iceberg. You all know what an iceberg is. The tip of the iceberg means what? A small thing of something that is bigger. The small thing of something that is very big or very large. That means you see only the part, but more is there. The tip of the iceberg. Under a cloud means to be suspected. To be suspected. Someone is suspected, people suspect him, doubt him, then we say his reputation is under a cloud. He is under a cloud. On cloud 9, to be extremely happy, to be ecstatic. The other day you got the word ecstatic, means what? Very happy. Now confusing words, what is the difference between rise and raise? Grammar point of view, please write rise is an intransitive verb, raise is a transitive verb. Rise does not take an object, raise takes an object. In so many exams they have given questions related to these two verbs. Rise intransitive, the sun rises in the east. Raise your hands, it takes an object, it is a transitive verb. What is the difference between home and house? I'll make a statement, listen very carefully. Every house is a home, but every home is not a house. So what is the difference? Every house is a home, but every home is not a house. So home means a place where you live with your family. The place where you live with your family. That could be a cave, it could be a hut, it could be a tile house, it could be a modern house, it could be a palace, it could be a mansion, it could be anything. But the place with your family is called your home. But the building is called a house. Okay? Beside and besides. In one of the batches I asked the question, what is the difference between these two words? A smart student immediately said, sir, very simple, the letter S. But that is not the answer. Beside means what? Next to. Besides means in addition to. And all these verbs, please make a note, they have given in so many exams. Cut, cost, broadcast, cast, bet, forecast, hurt. The three forms are the same for all these verbs. Cost, cost, cost. There's nothing like costed. There's nothing like broadcasted. Not correct. All the three forms the same. Please remember, they have given in many exams this one, cost. They have given broadcast and forecast. And quite often outside everyday English people say, I got hurted. Is that right? No. What is the correct sentence? I got hurt. Now let us see the follow-up of this. What is the passage about? This is an important passage. Today's passage is very important, especially those who are preparing for bank exams. What is the passage about? Savings. And from this you have to think of the banking sector. And the most important, I told the other day also, what is it? E-banking. So they may ask anywhere. All the three are important. So shall I stop here for today? Thank you very much.